Chosen one, you did not find this message by chance. You were meant to be here, at this exact moment hearing these words. The universe, the divine, and the forces beyond the veil have aligned to bring you to this revelation. Tonight marks the beginning of something profound, an event that has been foretold for centuries, hidden in ancient texts, whispered in sacred prophecies, and now unfolding in real time. The 144,000 chosen ones are gathering not in the physical world but in the higher realms, where energy, destiny, and divine purpose intersect. Do you feel it? That deep stirring within your soul? That undeniable sensation that something powerful is shifting in the unseen world? The veil between dimensions is thinner than ever before. Those attuned to the spiritual realm will feel an unmistakable energy coursing through them. Some will experience prophetic dreams, divine messages, or a profound sense of unity with something greater than themselves. This is the moment of activation. If you have ever questioned your purpose, if you have ever felt different, if you have ever sensed that you were meant for something greater, this is your confirmation. You are part of this. You are one of the 144,000. For generations, the prophecy of the 144,000 has echoed through time, woven into ancient texts, sacred teachings, and mystical revelations. It is not a forgotten myth nor a distant legend, but a divine code, a calling written into the very fabric of existence. This prophecy speaks of a hidden force, a sacred army of light destined to rise when the world reaches its darkest hour. Their purpose is not conquest nor destruction, but awakening a great unveiling of truth that will shatter the illusions that have bound humanity for ages. Throughout history, many have encountered this number in religious scriptures and esoteric teachings, yet few have grasped its true significance. Some believe it represents a literal group of souls, predetermined from the beginning of time. Others see it as a symbolic force, a vast collective consciousness awakening to its divine purpose. But the truth runs deeper than mere numbers or abstract interpretations. The 144,000 are not just a statistic, they are a movement, a force of transformation, a beacon of divine energy radiating across the spiritual realms. Unlike the rulers of this world, they are not chosen based on material wealth, social status, or earthly power. They are not recognized by crowns, titles, or possessions. Instead, they are marked by the strength of their spirit, the purity of their mission, and their unshakable connection to the divine. They are the ones who have endured lifetimes of trials, facing adversity, rejection, and solitude, only to emerge stronger, wiser, and more resolute. Every hardship they have faced was not a punishment, but a preparation. Their souls have been forged in the fires of experience, their wisdom carved from the depths of struggle. If you have felt a deep sense of purpose beyond the mundane, if you have always sensed that you were different, if you have carried within you an unshakable knowing that you were meant for something greater, this is your confirmation. You are not here to blend in with the many. You are here to lead. The world is asleep, ensnared in illusions carefully woven to suppress the truth, and the time has come for the chosen to rise. The moment of awakening is now. The 144,000 are stepping into their divine mission, and if these words resonate within your soul, it is because you are one of them. The prophecy is unfolding, and you are an essential part of it. From the moment you took your first breath in this world, you knew you were different. There was something within you, an awareness, a knowing, that set you apart from those around you. While others moved through life unquestioning, accepting the world as it was presented to them, you saw beyond the surface. You sensed things before they happened, felt energies others ignored, and recognized the illusions that kept people trapped in a false reality. Even as a child, you may have felt like an outsider, as though you were walking through life with a purpose you could not yet fully comprehend. Your journey has not been an easy one. Throughout your life, you may have experienced moments of deep isolation, times when you felt disconnected from the world around you, as if searching for something you could not name. You have faced struggles that tested your spirit, battles that pushed you to the brink, and challenges that seemed insurmountable. But none of it was without reason. Every hardship, every pain, every moment of doubt was part of a greater preparation. The fire you walked through was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to refine you, to awaken the power within you, and to shape you into the being you were always meant to become. You were never meant to conform to the patterns of this world. You were never meant to follow the path of the many. The unease you have felt, the questions that have burned in your mind, the pull towards something greater, these were not coincidences. They were signs, reminders of your true nature, clues leading you to this very moment. And now, that moment has arrived. Tonight, the next stage of your awakening begins. The 144,000 are being activated. And if you are reading this, you are part of that divine calling. The energy is shifting. The veil between worlds is thinning, and those who are ready will feel it in their very core. This is the time for the chosen to rise, to embrace their mission, and to step fully into the light of their destiny. You were never meant to stay in the shadows. You were meant to shine. And now, the world is waiting. This world is not what it appears to be. Beyond the veil of ordinary life, beneath the illusions of daily existence, an ancient battle has been raging since the dawn of time. It is not a war fought with swords, guns, or earthly weapons, nor is it confined to physical battlefields. It is a war for the very soul of humanity, a relentless struggle between light and darkness, truth and deception, freedom and enslavement. The forces of darkness have worked tirelessly to keep humanity blind, lost, and disconnected from its divine essence. They have woven a web of distractions, manipulated reality through false narratives, and shrouded the minds of millions in spiritual blindness. Every system designed to dull intuition, suppress independent thought, and breed conformity is part of this war. The world is filled with noise, chaos, and carefully crafted illusions to keep people asleep, to prevent them from realizing their true power. And yet, despite their efforts, the light cannot be extinguished. The darkness fears the light, for it knows that once the truth is revealed, its hold will weaken. That is why those who carry the divine spark, the 144,000, have faced such immense trials. Have you ever wondered why your life has been filled with struggle, why you have endured betrayals, rejection, and obstacles that others seem to escape? It is because the darkness recognized you long before you recognized yourself. It saw the power within you, the potential for awakening, and sought to break you before you could rise. But it has failed. Despite every hardship, every attack, every attempt to silence you, you are still here. And tonight, as the 144,000 unite, the forces of darkness will tremble. The time of their control is coming to an end. The energy is shifting, and those who are ready to embrace their divine calling will feel it deep within their souls. This is the moment of reckoning, the turning point in the spiritual war. The awakening of the chosen is not just a possibility, it is an unstoppable force, and as the light rises, the grip of darkness will crumble. Tonight is unlike any other night. Beneath the surface of ordinary existence, beyond the limits of human perception, something profound is unfolding in the spiritual realm. This is not a moment bound by time or geography. It is a convergence of souls, a sacred alignment where the chosen ones are drawn together through an unseen force that transcends the physical world. Though separated by distance, they are united in energy, in purpose, in divine resonance. As this gathering takes place, the veil between worlds will thin, and those attuned to the shift will experience its effects in ways both subtle and undeniable. Some will feel an overwhelming sense of peace, as if a heavy burden they have carried for lifetimes is suddenly lifted. Others will be struck by a surge of energy, an electrifying pulse moving through their being, awakening dormant aspects of their soul. Prophetic dreams may come, visions of what is to unfold, flashes of divine insight revealing knowledge long hidden from the conscious mind. Some will see patterns of light, symbols not meant for the eyes but for the soul to understand. For many, the most powerful sensation will be an unshakable sense of unity. The loneliness, the isolation that has accompanied their journey will fade into the realization that they have never truly been alone. They are part of something vast, something eternal, something far greater than they ever imagined. And in that moment of recognition, fear and doubt will dissolve, replaced by a deep knowing, a certainty that they are exactly where they need to be, stepping fully into their divine purpose. This is not a night of chaos or confusion. It is a night of alignment, of divine order, of prophecy unfolding before our very eyes. The forces of darkness have worked tirelessly to prevent this awakening, to keep the chosen ones disconnected, distracted, and doubting their own power. But tonight, their efforts will fail. The 144,000 are rising, and the shift they bring will send ripples through every plane of existence. This is the moment the darkness has feared, and it is only the beginning. The time has come. The sacred alignment is unfolding, and the spiritual realm is calling you to step fully into your divine purpose. But to receive the energy of this transformation, you must be prepared. You cannot enter this moment carrying the weight of distractions, doubt, or fear. Your mind must be clear, your spirit open, and your heart ready to embrace what is coming. Begin by cleansing your energy. The world is filled with heavy frequencies, fear, anger, and doubt that cloud the mind and weaken the soul. These energies are designed to keep you disconnected from your higher self. Release them. Let go of anything that no longer serves you. Take a deep breath, center yourself, and allow the light to fill every part of your being. Meditation, prayer, or even quiet reflection will help realign you with the divine flow. Next, disconnect from distractions. The noise of the world, the endless chaos, the demands, the illusions are meant to keep you asleep. But tonight, silence is your ally. Turn off external distractions. Step away from anything that pulls you from your inner truth. Find stillness. The spiritual realm is speaking, and only those who are truly listening will hear its call. As you prepare, ground yourself in truth. The forces of darkness will try to shake your faith, whispering confusion and doubt into your mind. They want you to question your worth, to wonder if you are truly meant for this mission. But understand this: you would not feel the call if you were not chosen. This alignment is not accidental. It has been orchestrated since before time, and you are exactly where you are meant to be. Stand firm in knowing. Raise your frequency. Fear, negativity, and doubt will lower your vibration and block the divine energy trying to reach you. Do not allow darkness to take root. Protect your energy, surround yourself with light, and elevate your consciousness. The higher your vibration, the more deeply you will connect with the awakening taking place. Speak it into existence. Write it down. Set a clear intention. I am ready. I step fully into my divine mission. I embrace my purpose without fear. Words have power, and when spoken with conviction, they shape reality. The moment is here. The alignment is happening. You must step forward with confidence, for this is the night that will change everything. Tonight is not the conclusion of your journey. It is the beginning of something far greater. The alignment you have stepped into will shift everything, awakening a power within you that has long been waiting to rise. From this moment forward, you will no longer see the world as you once did. The illusions that once clouded your vision will dissolve, revealing truth with a clarity you have never known before. A deeper sense of purpose will settle within you, guiding your every step with unwavering certainty. But with this awakening comes responsibility. Your mission is not to force change upon others, but to embody the light so powerfully that those who are ready will awaken simply by witnessing your truth. You are a guide, a beacon in a world that has long been shrouded in darkness. Your existence alone, the way you carry yourself, the strength of your spirit, will be enough to stir something within those who are seeking. You do not need to convince, debate, or demand. Your presence will do the work. Yet, Be prepared, the forces that have worked to keep humanity blind will not surrender easily. Now that you have stepped into your power, the forces of deception will try harder than ever to silence you. They will seek to cast doubt upon your path, to pull you back into the illusions you have only just escaped. The world will not understand you. It never has, and it never will. But that is not your burden to carry. You were not sent here to be understood. You were sent to fulfill a prophecy. The distractions, the resistance, the attempts to suppress your light, none of it matters. What matters is that you continue to rise, to stand firm in your truth, and to walk forward with unwavering faith. The awakening is accelerating, and the time for hesitation is over. You are here for a reason. You were chosen for this moment. The world will never be the same after tonight. The spiritual realm has shifted. The energy of the 144,000 has begun to dismantle the illusion. The darkness is losing its grip, but the war is not over. The enemy will resist, but it will fail. You must stand firm. You must hold your light. You must walk in your power. The time for hesitation has long passed. You were sent here for this exact moment, and now the world needs you. Tonight, you rise. If you feel this message in your soul, acknowledge it. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment 777 below to affirm your alignment. Let the spiritual realm witness your awakening. This is your moment. This is your mission. This is your destiny, and nothing will ever be the same again. You are chosen. Now act like it. Have you ever looked around and wondered, why is my journey so much heavier than everyone else's? You try to walk in righteousness. You strive to obey. You pursue God with a sincere heart. Yet somehow, the road seems lonelier, the storms more violent, and the nights longer. This isn't coincidence. This is the sacred cost of being chosen. There is a mystery to divine selection. While the world glorifies blessings as ease and abundance, those truly chosen by God walk a path marked by fire, pruning, and silence. Not because God has forgotten them, but because He is forming them. What you're feeling, this tension in your spirit, the weight you carry in silence, the invisible war waged within you, is proof that heaven has marked you. In this message, we will explore 5 profound pains that only those who are truly called and chosen by God experience. These are not punishments, they are preparation. And by understanding them, you will begin to see your pain not as a curse, but as a holy assignment. Stay with me until the end, because if you identify with what I'm about to share, it's not just confirmation, it's your awakening. Pain 1. The silent sting of rejection. Rejection is one of the most confusing and heart-wrenching pains that the chosen ones experience. Not because they've done anything wrong, but precisely because they are becoming who God has called them to be. It comes quietly, often without warning or explanation. One day, the friend who used to call daily goes silent. Family members begin to pull away, offering polite smiles but cold distance. Colleagues who once laughed with you now keep their conversations short. You replay your interactions, wondering, did I say something wrong? Was I too distant? But deep inside, you sense that this is not a social issue. It's a spiritual shift. It's not about what you've done. It's about who you're becoming. As your intimacy with God deepens, your spiritual light begins to shine brighter. And that light, though pure and holy, can feel like exposure to those who are still comfortable in the shadows. You didn't change to push people away. You changed because you said yes to the fire, yes to the refining, yes to the sacred call that demanded you grow. But as your spiritual hunger increased, something in you became unsettling to others. Your presence convicts, not through judgmental words, but through quiet integrity. And when people are unwilling to confront their own stagnation, they often choose distance over transformation. That's why rejection is not always personal. Many are not rejecting you. They are rejecting the reminder of the God they've been avoiding. Even Jesus wasn't exempt from this pain. His neighbors scoffed, "Isn't this the carpenter's son?" He was doubted by his own family, misunderstood by those closest to him. So when you feel abandoned, remember, you walk in the footsteps of the Savior. Rejection, painful as it is often God's way of clearing your path. Not everyone can walk with you into the next season. Some connections were only meant for where you've been, not where you're going. And while it hurts to lose those relationships, know this: what feels like isolation is often divine protection. God is not punishing you. He is positioning you. Every door that closes is a subtle whisper from heaven saying, "I'm making room. I'm realigning your circle." You are not meant to live for the approval of the crowd, but for the affirmation of your Creator. Rejection refines your focus. It teaches you to rely not on applause, but on obedience. And as the old falls away, God will surround you with people who see your anointing, understand your burden, and strengthen your walk. Until then, stand firm. Let the pruning do its work, because the sting of rejection, when surrendered to God, becomes the birthplace of divine purpose. Pain 2. The agony of purposeful loneliness. There is a unique kind of loneliness that visits those who are chosen by God, a sacred solitude that is not born of isolation, but of divine intention. It's not the kind of loneliness that comes from being physically alone, but the kind that lingers even in crowded rooms, even when you're surrounded by people who care. You laugh with others, share meals, attend gatherings, and yet something inside you feels unreachable, unshared, unseen. It's not that you don't love people, you do. But the vision God has placed inside of you is often too big, too deep, too spiritual for words. You carry a universe within your spirit that others cannot grasp, and that realization is quietly heartbreaking. It's the ache of carrying something eternal in a world obsessed with the temporary. While others talk about daily routines, politics, or weekend plans, your thoughts are consumed with purpose, destiny, and eternity. You see things others don't. You feel burdens others can't name. You wake up with a weight on your heart that no one else seems to notice. And though you long to share it, you've learned that when you do, your passion is often met with misunderstanding or silence. People don't always know how to respond to spiritual hunger when their own lives are centered around comfort. This purposeful loneliness is a classroom designed by God. In the quiet spaces, where no one else understands you, God becomes your confidant. He is the only one who truly sees the depth of your calling and the pain that accompanies it. It was in the solitude of Gethsemane that Jesus faced his most crushing burden, and even then, his closest disciples fell asleep. They loved him, but they could not carry what he carried. And so, he wrestled with the weight of destiny, alone. You too will have Gethsemane moments, nights when tears stain your pillow, when your prayers are whispered into silence, when the weight of your purpose feels unbearable. But in those sacred moments, God is not distant. He is forming you. He is speaking in ways that only silence can reveal. The very loneliness that breaks your heart is also the space where your spirit learns to breathe heaven's air. It is there that prophets are shaped, leaders are refined, and visionaries are born. And while this kind of loneliness feels endless, it is not forever. There comes a time when God will surround you with those who speak your spiritual language, those who don't need explanations to understand your heart. But until then, the loneliness is your sacred space. It is where you and God meet in the most honest of places, where your soul finds rest not in people, but in presence. Embrace the loneliness, not as punishment, but as preparation. It is not your weakness. It is your consecration. You have been set apart, and the silence you walk through now will one day become the voice that leads others home. Pain 3. The relentless inner conflict. There is a silent war that rages inside the heart of every chosen one, a battle not seen by others, but deeply felt in the private chambers of the soul. It's the conflict between who you are and who you're called to be. between the spirit that longs to please God and the flesh that resists the process. It's the tension between holy hunger and human weakness, and it's relentless. You wake up with the desire to seek God, but suddenly your mind is clouded with distractions. You sit to pray, but words feel distant. You open your Bible and your eyes glaze over the text you once devoured with passion. You commit to fasting, but the smallest craving feels like an unbearable temptation. And in those moments, guilt creeps in like a thief, whispering lies. You're not strong enough. You're not sincere. You're not worthy. But this struggle, this war within, is not a sign of failure. It's the proof that you are alive in the spirit. The very fact that you feel the battle means your heart hasn't grown numb. Dead things don't wrestle, but those who are spiritually alive feel every pull, every tug, every tension between light and darkness, between calling and comfort. Even the Apostle Paul knew this torment. He wrote, "I do not do the good I want to do, but the evil I do not want to do, this I keep on doing." And these weren't the words of a new believer. Paul, seasoned in faith, filled with the Spirit, still confessed that within him existed a battle he couldn't win alone. That's the mark of the chosen, not perfection, but sensitivity, a heightened awareness of sin, a deeper grief over compromise, an ache to please God that grows heavier the closer you get to Him. The enemy sees your potential. He knows your purpose. And so, he tailors temptations with precision. If you're called to speak truth, your voice will be attacked through fear or slander. If you're called to lead, pride will test your humility. If your anointing is worship, you'll battle performance and vanity. The attack is personal because the assignment is powerful. What makes this war even more painful is looking around and seeing others who seem unbothered, unaffected, as if they've reached a peace that constantly evades you. But peace without battle is often a sign of surrender, not victory. The absence of struggle doesn't always mean strength. It may mean someone stopped fighting. You, on the other hand, are still wrestling, still resisting, still reaching. God does not ask you to be flawless. He asks you to be honest. When you fall, rise quickly. When you're weak, cry out for grace. Each battle you fight chips away at pride and builds a foundation of real, lasting humility. You're not called to win every moment. You're called to stay in the fight. And with each internal victory, the image of Christ is carved deeper into your soul. This conflict is not your defeat. It is your refinement. Pain. 4. The crushing weight of renunciation. One of the deepest and most difficult pains the chosen must endure is the quiet, aching weight of renunciation. It's not always a dramatic act, nor is it always visible to others. Often it begins with the smallest whispers from God, gentle nudges in your spirit that something you once enjoyed no longer fits where He's taking you. A song that once uplifted you now unsettles your soul. A show you used to laugh at now offends the sensitivity the Holy Spirit is cultivating within you. A friendship that once felt life-giving now drains your purpose. These are not always sinful things. Many of them are good, harmless by the world's standards. But for the chosen, they become distractions from the divine. And then come the heavier sacrifices. The good job with a stable salary that no longer aligns with your calling. The relationship filled with love but not with vision. The familiar city that no longer feels like home because God is calling you somewhere unfamiliar. Perhaps most painfully, there are dreams you've held for years, goals that made sense, plans that were perfectly reasonable, that God gently asks you to lay down. Not because they are bad, but because they are not best. This is the agony of renunciation, letting go of something you love, something safe, something sensible, simply because God said, let it go. And that obedience doesn't always come with clarity. He rarely shows you the full picture. More often than not, all you're left with is the sound of a door quietly closing behind you, and the whisper of God promising something greater just beyond your current reach. Abraham knew this pain when God told him to leave everything, his land, his family, his identity, for a promise he couldn't yet see. Moses left the palace for the wilderness. Paul laid down the status and security of his former life and called it all rubbish compared to knowing Christ. And Jesus himself told his followers, "Whoever wants to come after me must deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me." The path of the chosen is paved with sacrifices, some visible, some internal, all costly. But here's the mystery. Every surrender becomes sacred soil for growth. Every yes to God requires a no to something else. And while it may feel like subtraction, it is divine multiplication in disguise. God is not cruel in asking you to let go. He's strategic. He's clearing space for something far more eternal, something you couldn't carry if your hands were still full of what once was. Renunciation isn't rejection, it's refinement. It's the evidence that you are being shaped for a glory that can't coexist with what you once called normal. So when God asks you to release what you love, trust that He's making room for what you were born to carry. And though the letting go may break your heart, what comes next will heal it in ways you never imagined. Pain 5. The long, unseen seasons of waiting. Perhaps the most silent and misunderstood pain of the chosen is the long, stretching season of waiting. It is the in-between place, the gap between the promise and the fulfillment, where God seems quiet, the heavens feel still, and the dream He once whispered burns like a slow fire within your soul. You remember when He spoke clearly, when vision came alive in your spirit, when His calling stirred something so powerful in you that you thought it would surely come to pass quickly. But days turned to weeks, weeks into months, months into years, and now all that remains is the echo of that promise and the growing ache of uncertainty. Waiting is not passive. It is a soul-deep wrestling, a sacred tension between faith and doubt. You pray, but the answers seem delayed. You obey, but the doors remain closed. You worship, but it feels like singing into silence. You try to be faithful, but the more time passes, the more tempted you are to believe you misunderstood God. Did I hear Him wrong? Did I miss my moment? Has He changed His mind about me? Meanwhile, you look around and see others advancing. Their prayers are answered swiftly. Their testimonies seem effortless. Their blessings arrive on schedule. And in the quiet of your heart, you wonder, why not me? Why is my process so long, so quiet, so hidden? This is the hidden furnace of the chosen. For what God is doing in you requires more than quick breakthroughs. It demands deep transformation. Joseph waited in a prison cell for years, his dreams seemingly forgotten, though they were simply maturing in the silence. David was anointed king, but spent a decade fleeing caves, living in obscurity, shaped in isolation. And Jesus, though perfect, waited 30 years before stepping into 3 short years of public ministry. The longer the wait, the greater the weight of the calling. God is not just preparing the promise for you, He is preparing you for the promise. And that kind of preparation can't be rushed. In the silence, your character is tested. In the stillness, your faith is refined. And in the waiting, your trust is no longer based on feelings, but rooted in the unshakable truth that God is faithful, even when He is silent. The danger of this season is the temptation to create counterfeit outcomes, to step ahead of God and manufacture what only He can deliver. Like Abraham with Hagar, it's easy to try to force what God has promised. But those who are chosen learn to wait, even when the waiting hurts, even when the silence feels suffocating. Waiting is not wasted time. It is sacred ground, where trust is forged in silence, and where your soul learns to commune with God in the deepest way. And when the appointed time comes, because it will come, you'll see that God was never late. He was building something in you that couldn't have been formed any other way. The wait was not a pause. It was preparation. If your heart has ached as you listened, if you saw your own reflection in these 5 sacred struggles, then take a deep breath, because you are not alone, and you are not forgotten. Your pain is not meaningless. Every silent night, every unseen battle, every step of obedience in the dark, it's all part of a greater plan. You have been set apart, not because you're stronger, but because God has chosen to form something deeper in you. While others are being built for the moment, you are being shaped for eternity. You may not feel it right now, but you're becoming exactly who heaven had in mind when God breathed life into you. The rejections, the loneliness, the inner war, the sacrifices, and the waiting, all of it is refining you, preparing you to carry something holy, something weighty, something that will bless others long after the pain has passed. So keep going, keep trusting, keep holding on to the voice that first called you. Because the one who began this good work in you, he will be faithful to complete it. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for sharing this sacred space with us. If this message spoke to your spirit, if it helped you breathe a little deeper, stand a little taller, or hope a little harder, we'd love to walk this journey with you. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more messages like this, words that strengthen the chosen, uplift the weary, and remind you that you're not walking alone. Tap the bell icon so you never miss a moment of encouragement. And if this message blessed you, consider sharing it with someone who may need it too. Together, let's keep pressing forward, through the pain, toward the purpose. Because for the chosen, the best is not behind you. It's still to come. There comes a time when everything shifts, when the struggles, the waiting, and the silent battles finally make sense. That time is now. You are not here by accident. This message has found you because you were meant to receive it. You are one of the chosen ones, the ones who have been tested, broken, and refined through life's trials. For years, you have fought battles no one saw. You have endured storms that should have destroyed you, yet you are still standing. Why? Because you were never ordinary. You were chosen. And now, the final step is here. At 3 a.m., a divine shift is about to take place. This is not just another moment in time. It is a portal, a sacred opening where heaven and earth meet. Destiny is calling your name. Will you answer? Number 1. The journey of the chosen. Why you have been tested. The path of the chosen ones has never been easy. From the very beginning, you were set apart for something greater, something beyond what the world could see. But with that calling came trials, challenges, and moments that tested you to your core. You have endured seasons of pain, questioning if God had abandoned you. You have watched others move forward effortlessly while you remained in a season of waiting, praying, and wondering if your struggles held any purpose at all. But here is the truth. Every battle you fought was shaping you into who you were meant to be. God saw you in your darkest moments. Every tear you cried in solitude, every whispered prayer, every night you lay awake feeling lost. He was there. Not once did he turn away. He was not punishing you. He was preparing you. The weight you carried, the obstacles you faced, and the storms that seemed relentless were never meant to break you. They were meant to build you. Like a diamond formed under pressure, you were being refined through fire, shaped for the destiny that awaits you. Many crumble under the weight of adversity, allowing pain to turn them bitter, faithless, and afraid. But you transformed. Instead of letting hardship harden your heart, you allowed it to teach you. Instead of surrendering to despair, you held on to faith, even when everything inside you wanted to give up. When the world told you to stop believing, you pressed on. When circumstances made you question your worth, you chose to trust in something greater than yourself. And now, you are stepping into your breakthrough. The trials that once seemed unbearable were, in reality, the very things that strengthened you. Every delay, every moment of suffering, and every unanswered question were all part of your divine preparation. You are no longer who you used to be. The fire has refined you. The pain has strengthened you. And now, you are ready. This is the moment you have been waiting for. The door is open. Step into the life you were always meant to live. Number 2. The power of 3 a.m. the divine hour. Throughout history and across different spiritual traditions, 3 a.m. has been recognized as a time of deep spiritual significance. It is not just another hour, it is a sacred window, a moment when the barriers between the physical and spiritual worlds are at their thinnest. In this stillness, divine messages are whispered, revelations unfold, and those who are awake can feel an unexplainable presence guiding them. In Christianity, it is believed that Jesus often withdrew to pray in the early morning hours, seeking divine strength and communion with God before facing the trials ahead. Many spiritual leaders and believers have experienced moments of deep clarity and divine instruction during this sacred hour. It is a time when prayers carry a different weight, when answers come more freely, and when faith is strengthened in the quiet stillness of the night. In Hinduism and Buddhism, this period is known as Brahma Muhurta, which translates to the Creator's Hour. It is considered the most powerful time for meditation, spiritual practice, and connection with the higher self. Ancient wisdom teaches that during this time the mind is at its most peaceful and receptive, making it easier to access higher states of consciousness, wisdom, and divine insight. Those who meditate or pray at this hour often report feeling an immense sense of clarity, as if they are being guided by an unseen force. In ancient mysticism, 3 a.m. is referred to as the veil-thinning hour, a time when the spiritual realm is closest to the physical world. This is when prophetic dreams, supernatural encounters, and profound revelations occur. It is the moment when divine intervention is most active, and those who are spiritually attuned can receive downloads of wisdom, warnings, and messages about their destiny. This is why 3 a.m. is not just another hour on the clock. It is a divine portal, a moment when miracles happen. If you have been waking up at this time unexpectedly, feeling a stirring in your soul, it is not a coincidence. It is a calling. You are being awakened for a reason, whether to pray, to listen, or to prepare for the shift that is about to take place in your life. Do not ignore it. Lean into it. Something extraordinary is waiting for you. Number 3. Signs that you are entering a higher calling. There comes a point in life when something within you begins to shift, an undeniable pull towards something greater, something beyond the ordinary. You may not be able to explain it, but deep inside you feel a change happening. This is not your imagination. It is a spiritual awakening. You are stepping into a higher calling. One of the first signs of this transformation is a deep sense that something is shifting. You feel as though you are on the verge of something significant, even if you do not yet know what it is. There is an inner knowing that your life is about to change, that doors are about to open, and that you are being prepared for a greater purpose. This feeling is not random, it is divine intuition, gently guiding you toward your next chapter. You may also experience heightened sensitivity. Your emotions become more profound, your intuition sharper. You start to sense things before they happen, and your connection to the energy around you intensifies. You notice people's true intentions more clearly, and your ability to feel the emotions of others deepens. This is because your spiritual awareness is expanding, allowing you to perceive what was once hidden. Another undeniable sign is unexplainable synchronicities. You begin to see patterns, repeating numbers like 1111, 333, or 555. You encounter divine messages through dreams, music, or conversations that seem to carry a deeper meaning. You meet people at exactly the right moment, as if the universe itself is orchestrating events in your favor. These synchronicities are not coincidences. They are confirmations that you are aligning with your divine path. If you find yourself waking up at 3 a.m., receiving dreams or visions, take it as a powerful sign. This is a sacred hour when divine wisdom is most easily transmitted. Many people who are stepping into their higher calling report having vivid dreams, prophetic visions, or waking up feeling as though they have received a message from beyond. Pay attention to these moments. They are invitations to listen, reflect, and prepare for what is coming. You may also begin to feel a growing detachment from the material world. While others chase money, status, or material possessions, you find yourself craving deeper meaning. You are no longer satisfied with superficial things. You long for purpose, for spiritual growth, for a connection with something greater than yourself. The things that once entertained you may now feel empty, and your focus shifts toward higher wisdom, self-discovery, and fulfilling your soul's mission. If you are experiencing these signs, you are ready. Your spirit is awakening, and you are being called to step into a greater version of yourself. Do not ignore these feelings, for they are guiding you toward your true path. Embrace them, trust them, and prepare because your higher calling is unfolding before you. Number 4. How to prepare for the transformation at 3 a.m. A powerful shift is coming, and preparation is essential. This is not just another moment in time, it is a divine invitation to step into a new version of yourself. How you prepare will determine how fully you receive what is coming. Aligning yourself spiritually, mentally, and physically will allow you to embrace this transformation with clarity and strength. The first step is to create a sacred space. Your environment reflects your spiritual state, so it is important to remove anything that carries negative energy or causes distraction. Clear out clutter, light a candle, burn incense, or play soft, meditative music. Make your space a place of peace and reflection, somewhere you can be still and connect with God, the universe, or your higher self without interference. Next, pray with intention. At 3 a.m., when the world is quiet and distractions fade, seek divine clarity. Speak from your heart, ask for guidance, and open yourself to receiving wisdom. Whether you pray in silence, whisper softly, or speak with boldness, know that your words carry power. This is a moment of direct connection. Pour out your spirit and trust that you are being heard. As revelations come, write down divine messages. Keep a journal beside your bed to capture dreams, sudden insights, or spiritual nudges. Often, messages received in the early morning hours can feel subtle at first, but writing them down allows you to reflect on patterns and deeper meanings later. Pay attention to recurring symbols, emotions, or words that seem to stand out. They may be the answers you have been waiting for. Another crucial way to prepare is to fast and detoxify. Spiritual clarity often comes when the body is in harmony with the soul. Consider cleansing your system by fasting from unhealthy foods, social media, or anything that clouds your energy. When you lighten your physical state, your spiritual sensitivity increases. This is not just about physical health. It is about clearing out distractions so that your mind and spirit can function at a higher level. Your outer appearance should also reflect your inner readiness. Dress with intention, treating this moment as a sacred encounter. Wear something that makes you feel spiritually aligned, whether it is white to symbolize purity, comfortable clothing for meditation, or something that carries personal significance. This act is not about vanity, but about honoring the transformation that is about to take place. Finally, speak your intentions boldly. Declare out loud, "I am ready for my transformation." Words have power, and when spoken with conviction, they send a clear signal to the universe. Verbal affirmations help to align your thoughts, emotions, and energy with your desires. Stand firm in your declaration and believe that what you are preparing for is already on its way. By taking these steps, you are not merely hoping for change, you are actively preparing for it. You are telling the universe, God, and your own soul that you are ready to receive, ready to transform, and ready to step into your destiny. Number 5. What to expect at 3 a.m. The divine visitation. At 3 a.m., something extraordinary is set to unfold. The atmosphere will shift, the energy around you will change, and if you are awake and receptive, you will experience a divine connection unlike anything before. This is not just another hour on the clock. It is a sacred moment, a time when the spiritual and physical realms align, allowing divine wisdom to flow freely. Some will feel an overwhelming sense of peace washing over them, a deep calm that reassures them they are exactly where they are meant to be. Others may experience dreams and visions, receiving symbolic messages that reveal their next steps. Some will feel a surge of energy and clarity, as if their mind has been awakened to truths they were previously unable to see. During this time, you may feel an overwhelming sense of purpose, knowing that you are stepping into something greater. It will no longer feel like you are lost or wandering. Instead, your spirit will recognize that you have been divinely guided to this very moment. Everything you have endured, every struggle you have faced will begin to make sense. You may also receive a direct message or instruction from God. This could come as a sudden realization, an intuitive nudge, or even a strong inner voice guiding you toward a specific path. Pay attention to any thoughts or feelings that arise during this time. They may carry the answers you have been seeking. For many, 3 a.m. brings a sudden release from past burdens. You may feel as though the weight you have been carrying, fear, doubt, regret, has finally been lifted. The chains of the past no longer hold you, and for the first time in a long time, you feel free. This is your moment. Do not sleep through it. If you wake up at this hour, do not dismiss it as coincidence. Lean into it. Listen. Be still. You are being prepared for something life-changing, and this sacred hour is your gateway to receiving it. Number 6. The responsibility of the chosen ones. This transformation you are experiencing is not just for you. It is for those you are meant to help. When God elevates you, He does so for a reason. You were chosen, not just to receive blessings, but to become a blessing to others. Your journey was never meant to be walked alone. It was designed to prepare you to lead, to guide, and to uplift those who are still searching for the light. With this awakening comes a new mission. You are now called to be a light for those still lost in darkness, the ones who feel trapped by their circumstances, weighed down by pain, or blinded by doubt. You have walked through the fire and emerged stronger, and now it is your duty to illuminate the path for those who cannot yet see the way forward. You must also offer hope to those who feel forgotten. Just as you once questioned whether your prayers were heard, there are others who are crying out in silence, desperate for a sign that they are not alone. You are that sign. Your transformation is proof that no matter how lost someone feels, no matter how long they have suffered, change is possible. Your story will become their hope, and your faith will inspire them to believe again. Above all, you must show others that transformation is possible. The world is full of people who believe that they are beyond saving, that they are too broken, too lost, too far gone. But you are living proof that God restores, that healing is real, and that even the deepest wounds can be turned into strength. When people see the shift in your life, they will begin to wonder if the same is possible for them, and through your example, many will find the courage to step into their own transformation. The people who once doubted you will look to you for guidance. The ones who mocked your faith will be forced to acknowledge its power. Those who question your purpose will see it unfold before their eyes. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were chosen. And with that calling comes great responsibility: to lead with love, to walk with purpose, and to bring light to a world that desperately needs it. At 3 a.m., a door will open. A new path will be revealed, one that leads to transformation, purpose, and divine alignment. But here is the truth. Not everyone will walk through it. Many will see the opportunity, feel the shift, and recognize the call, yet fear, doubt, or hesitation will hold them back. Opportunities are divine gifts, but they do not force themselves upon us. They require action. They require faith. If you hesitate, you may miss your moment. The universe, God, and destiny itself are extending an invitation, but only those who are ready to step forward will receive what is on the other side. This is the moment of decision. At 3 a.m., when the world is still and the veil between the seen and unseen is at its thinnest, the universe is asking you, are you ready? Are you ready to let go of the past and step into the future? Are you ready to trust that everything you have been through has led you to this exact moment for a reason? Your answer will determine what happens next. The door is open, the path is before you, but you must have the courage to walk through it. Do not allow fear to keep you standing at the threshold. Do not let hesitation rob you of the blessing that is waiting. If you believe in divine timing, if you have felt the call at 3 a.m., and if you are ready to step into your destiny, then take action now. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another powerful message. Your breakthrough is here. Stay connected, stay ready, and walk boldly into your calling.